Thank you so much for joining today. And while we wait, we give it just a minute so others join. If you feel like connecting with other participants, please drop your LinkedIn profile and/or where you're joining from. I'm going to go ahead and post mine. And oh my gosh, so many dear faces from the program. So good to see you. Excellent. Well, as we slowly start, a quick comment about my setup. We do have some folks who haven't attended my training sessions before, so I think it's helpful to know that I use three monitors, and this is to keep the session productive. So there's one for slides. I'm looking at it right now. One for you, pretty much, and pay attention to the chats. And there's another one right here as a backup with resources or the prompts that I may need to post. So if I want you to know that I'm fully focused on you, and even though I may be turning my head from time to time, I'm fully concentrated in this session. So it's 12:02, and I want to honor those who joined on time, and let's get started. Can somebody just give me a sign that you can see my screen, just to confirm? Excellent, thank you. Very well. So I know most of you know me, but since this session is being recorded and will be available in a few weeks as a free on-demand replay, for those of you who were not able to participate today, please allow me a short introduction. So I'm Nina Hirota. I define myself as a global HR leader. My professional experience has been essentially with Fortune 500 organizations, and in focusing on talent management, change management, and workforce planning. I also have been serving for the past 12 years as an adjunct professor at New York University, where I teach intercultural business communication and contribute to Harvard Business Review's Advisory Council. Last year, I co-founded Global Synergy Partner Solutions alongside the former CIO of the Dutch Department of Defense, because driven by this shared belief that the future of work demands new thinking. And I think we're all having that feeling of transformation and things evolving way more frequently than in the past, thanks to the fast advancements of AI. We also founded this group on LinkedIn called Artificial Intelligence for Leadership, and it's growing very rapidly. We don't want to be the biggest AI focused group, rather one that has meaningful conversations. And we've been very fortunate to have professors from distinguished schools such as Harvard, Wharton, and others, AI experts, some of them developing AI products, all published authors on the topic, and even a Nobel Peace Prize nominee and the former president of Ecuador. So if you haven't joined yet, I'm posting the link as well in case you're interested. And I'd like for us to start with a quick poll about NotebookLM. So let me bring it up. You can join by typing menti.com and then entering this code, or you could just scan the QR code you see here to access the poll. Excellent. Oh, it works. And thank you for the reactions. Love it. Okay. Still see others who haven't joined. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to move this.
I scanned it with my phone. What do I do now?
it should pop a screen. And as soon as I display the first question, David, you'll be able to vote.
Okay.
Okay? Which I'm going to do right now. Let me keep the QR code displayed on the top corner here. So if anybody who hasn't joined wants to participate, they can. So what is NotebookLM? Oh, come on. Nobody thinks that it's a secret new laptop? I know I ruined this question a bit because the page where you registered the clearly outlines what it is, but I thought I would be a little bit goofy with some of the definitions here because wouldn't it be wonderful if we had a magical notebook that does the homework while you sleep, right? Anyway, excellent. So we all know why we are here. Now, how familiar are you with it? Oh, we have somebody in a serious relationship here. Fantastic. It's interesting. We are in both ends of the spectrum. Some never met it, and others are really enamored with it. And the person who voted that they use it all the time, please feel free to chime in or add any comments in the chat so we learn together because in no way I would claim the title of knowing everything about AI or Notebook LM. Things evolve just so fast. There's always something new to learn. Excellent. Thank you. Third question, so we get started. For your pre-work, what topic did you decide you will explore with NotebookLM or for the practice today? Oh, ballet, job search, excellent. AI, okay. The French Revolution, policies, interview prep. Wow, love it. Pharma portfolios, HR consulting trends. Wow. Such excellent topics, folks. Love it. And for the second half of today's session, we are going to be building one together. Okay. I just want to walk you through what it is, uses, and a few details before we get our hands dirty. Okay. Speaking. Okay. ADHD. Wow, all over. Love it. Love it. Thank you very much. Keep that link open because there's a final question before we close that I'm going to come back to. But just so you keep it in mind, once we walk through what it is and you build your own notebooks, I'm going to ask you what are your ideas for how to use it. And the intent here obviously is to cross-pollinate, grab the innovative and different ideas and see what else can be done with NotebookLM. Very well. So let's get started. I define technically NotebookLM is defined as a Google application designed for research. And I think it's much more. Of course, because it's developed, it's by Google, it leverages AI, their AI, which is Gemini. But it's not just a tool to synthesize information, summarize documents, answer questions. This is everything that Google presents it as, but it's a lot more. And what my observation is that people love it once they start using it because of its ability to help make sense of scattered, complex information in a way that's digestible, well organized, and interactive. And we're going to explore that in just a minute. But most importantly, NotebookLM is not a general search tool like Google itself. It leverages Google's AI model, Gemini, and it in a way, it merges the best of both worlds in the sense that you have the power of Google, the thought process, the continuous advancements, but also the power of AI, and in particular, the fact that you have privacy in what you develop using NotebookLM. But I'll say in the academia in particular, people love it as a research partner because you can literally interact with your content, mass amounts of content, and enable and get a more nuanced understanding of complex information. I remember when I was studying for one of my masters that I had so many scattered resources, hundreds of them. And as much information as I had, the biggest challenge was to make sense of what was in all of them. And now this is what I see Google NotebookLM as a phenomenal resource to enable that. So what are its key features? Well, for starters, folks, I love this one. Privacy using NotebookLM is central. So you can relax because anything you upload into NotebookLM will never be used to train their model. This is a screenshot of NotebookLM's webpage. So it's your information, your chat exchanges remain private, unless of course you decide to share it. So you would have a link and that you would be able to copy and share with others. But other than that, your content remains secure. And the other thing that's a phenomenal advantage with NotebookLM is that it rarely hallucinates. Hallucinates meaning fabricating information, right? It rarely hallucinates and makes up any responses to your queries because it's strictly grounded with the resources that you feed it with. So you are constantly in control, and as it responds to any of your queries, it actually references the source. So you can actually click on it and visit the document or the source to confirm that it is related. In terms of scalability, 100 notebooks with up to 50 sources each, and sources being up to 500 words or 200 megabytes. That's a lot of information. It's more than an encyclopedia in total. Depth, high quality, structured answers, topic overviews, summaries, you name it. There's a variety of products that you can develop or resources that you can develop through NotebookLM, and we're going to see some of them in just a minute. This is another one that's great. I remember years ago having documents that I would pay people to translate, right? I would develop in a given language, pay people to translate, and sometimes it would take a week, 2 weeks even, to get documents ready and revisions as well. Well, with NotebookLM, you can upload your resources in any language and define what language you want it to use in its output. So say, for instance, I'll demonstrate that in just a bit. My resources are all in English. If I wanted it to produce a document or respond in French, Italian, Spanish, it will. It's just at the click of a button, get that resource. Public sharing, I already explained, and it's great if you want to share any of your notebooks with others. In fact, a recent functionality that they just launched are public notebooks, meaning organizations that have developed notebooks that they find will be valuable and helpful to other users are publicly displayed in their homepage now. And of course, it allows offline functionality, offline use through iOS and Android apps. So your mobile device will always have your notebooks ready. Now, one of the biggest advantages of NotebookLM is really how it transforms content, even when the topic is the same. sometimes, depending on the volume of information, it becomes challenging to make sense of everything that's in it. So it has the ability to transform scattered information in a variety of formats that you upload and becomes their knowledge source, and turn them not just into an interactive tool where you would go and ask questions about your content through queries, just like you would using a normal AI model, but also produce different resources. The variety of reports that it will enable you to create: quizzes, flashcards, mind maps, video overviews, which is a new functionality that was launched earlier this month, so really, really fresh. And the audio overviews are phenomenal. People get blown away by all of this because ultimately it can help you learn about anything, make sense of any information that you would want to explore using the tool. And well, on the left, you see the most common notebook LM uses. So from summarization to classic clarification of complex concepts, but also audio overviews, which many love to download and upload while driving, or when so they can drive and learn something new, or mind mapping. There's a variety of tools of uses that the tool itself allow, and are very straightforward. We are going to visit to check them in just a minute, but I'm noticing a growing number of folks using it more creatively, from transforming journal entries to coaching insights, organizing and preparing for job interviews. And I saw that a couple of you mentioned that as well. So we are going to use an example related to job interviews, by the way. Learn about potential new clients. If you are consulting, imagine being able to tap into your potential clients' financial reports that are publicly available, information on their websites, LinkedIn profiles of the people you're going to be collaborating with in your project, and be able to make sense of all of that information, folks. This is magical. Turn uploaded materials into trivia, quiz games, podcasts. I mean, it goes as far as making sense of medical clinical literature, which I think somebody mentioned, or even remix modernized family recipes, but also language immersion and translation. Really, really fast. And just so you know, this goes with the deck. You're going to get a copy of this deck, and the intent is when you're designing your options, you're working with a NotebookLM, you have a series of options here that appear on the screen very fast. And this is intended to be a job aid of sorts, of a side aid, so you know what your options are. For instance, in Briefing Doc, here's what the next screen would look like, and where you know exactly what you can customize to your needs. Okay, so every one of the report options, you can see that 7 of them allow some editing. So once you click on this pencil here, you would get to the screens that show next. For study guides, for instance, it gives you will have a prompt pre-populated, and you're able to actually edit every one of the prompts that's available to you, readily available. So as you can see, there's a brief description of what it does, what language the output should apply, and if you click on the downward arrow, you will find numerous other languages, and the prompt that you can tailor to your needs for, again, for every one of the reports. And you can see there's now a competitive analysis report, onboarding guide, concept explainer, and even a tool comparison if you wanted to compare. In this example, it is Notion and NotebookLM. You could just change the prompt to every one of to any of your needs. By the same token, this is part of the deck. So video overview options, this is what you can tailor. You can see that you can choose the language and the prompt as well. The same thing for audio overviews, with the difference that you can now select whether you want the audio overview to be brief, critique, debate, deep dive is the standard, and its length. And once again, there's a room for you to tailor the prompt accordingly. And lastly, quizzes will also give you options. So you can, not that you would numerically select the number of questions for your quiz, but you could say this, select between standard, fewer or more, and the level of difficulty when creating one. Very well. So with that, let me move to demo. And for purposes of the demo, folks, I created this notebook to simulate a research about Medtronic, the largest pharmaceutical medical device company in the world. Very straightforward in terms of fields. On the left side, you will see all of the sources, meaning all of the content you want for NotebookLM to leverage in its responses. In the center, this huge chat box starts with the definition that Notebook itself creates based on the content that you provided. And this little box here unfortunately, it's not adjustable, but as you can see, is the classic chat box that you would have in any AI model, right? So this is where you iterate with it, you submit your questions and get its responses. One thing that I forgot to mention, when you select the sources, you say for instance, you would want it to respond based on just a couple of resources, not the full set of information that you have fed it with. So you can always uncheck some of the information, and it's not going to consider them in the response it's going to produce. What's the other thing? And finally, on the right side, everything that you see under Studio is where you produce the resources that we were just talking about. And again, plenty. Just as I was showcasing a moment ago, this is the menu where you create all of the reports. So you can see that the four on the top are the permanent ones, and it actually suggests additional formats, including, for instance, a marketing plan. If you're applying for a role, a marketing role, this would be a great one. But you can always customize once again. What else about the lay of the land? Flashcards. If you click on the button straight instead of the pencil, you will not get this customization feature. What it will do is start creating the flashcards right away. I'm gonna click on it so it starts generating. And flashcards are pretty much what we already know. They'll have a question and a response on the other side. But the beauty of these flashcards is that they actually allow you to visit the document that inspired that question. Same for a quiz. And I have some resources that pre-populated here, just so you know what you can do with them. What I wanted to demonstrate for just a second is the audio overview and the video overview, which are very helpful. In particular, the audio overview, people rave about it because you not only hear it as a podcast, but you can actually interrupt the conversation and interact with the presenters, with the AI presenters. All the flashcards are ready, so you see them, right? Again, this is intended to simulate someone applying for a marketing role with Medtronic. So all of the sources that are available here were loaded, and as you can see, in a variety of formats, from PDFs to websites and YouTube videos. And the flashcards, for instance, would serve to test your knowledge about the organization. So what is the three-part mission statement that the founder created over 60 years ago? Well, if you don't know the answer, you just click at the bottom. And if you want to know the source, just click on explain. And it's going to bring details, not just about the source itself, but also where it pulled it from. So this is the flashcards. I'm going to play the audio overview for you for just a minute. Oh, it's generating. I had it ready. Start this.
All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive into something.
Can you hear?
Pretty interesting, actually.
Right.
It's Medtronic's 2024 Impact Report. And, we've got the report itself.
Mm-hmm.
But we also went a little bit deeper and pulled in some other materials, too. So we got some stuff from earnings calls, even some investor presentations we dug up.
Nice.
Even YouTube videos featuring their leadership, and then also some third-party analyses.
Very cool.
It's kind of a really interesting set of sources to get a better picture of Medtronic and what they're doing.
Yeah, so we're not just talking about like the devices themselves. Right. It's kind of how they see.
And just so you know, you can change the playback speed. You can download it, as I was saying, and you can share with others. It's still generating the audio overview. That's the only thing that we might need to come back to, or as you work on your own notebooks, you might want to give it a few minutes. The video, the same thing, which is the video, the same thing, but what I did was actually download it ahead so you can see what it looks like. So this is, NotebookLM created this 6-minute, 5.5 minutes video solely based on all of the content that I provided here. So let me play it for you.
All right, let's talk Medtronic. If you're a marketing leader aiming to make a serious mark in healthcare, you're in the right place. We're going to give you the inside track on the company, what drives them, and the incredible opportunities that are on the table right now.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with who Medtronic really is, then jump into the competitive landscape. After that, we'll look at what's fueling their growth, what that means for a marketing leader, and finally, where this is all headed.
Okay, first things first. To really get Medtronic, you have to start right here with their mission. And I mean, everything they do comes back to this. This isn't just some corporate slogan on a poster. Nope. This has been their North Star for over 75 years. The thing that pulls together more than 95,000 people all over the world.
So, who is the Medtronic of today? Let's dive in.
Just look at these numbers for a second. The scale here is, well, it's massive. We're not talking about a small player. This is a global force of nature in over 150 countries. They're dropping.
You get the idea, right? And obviously, for educational purposes, amazing. You can download the videos. Google develops in a way that it's royalty free. So you're not going to see images that require licensing. And the resources are solely, and you can trust that the videos are solely developed based on the information that you yourself provided. Any questions before we start? Thank you. Any questions before we start applying? So I had asked you as pre-work to gather your files. I'm gonna say that even if you forgot, there's still a way you can practice together. But let's go back one moment. This is my NotebookLM homepage. What you are going to do is firstly click on Create New Notebook. Oh, 1 second. These are featured notebooks that are made available. Remember, I just mentioned there are some notebooks that are publicly available. So these are some of them. You could research. There's a variety of notebooks on all sorts of topics: Shakespeare, trends and health, how to build a life. Anyway, it's quite interesting to explore. And then, as you can see here, there are featured ones. My notebooks are here. So you would click on my notebooks and then create new notebook. Just giving me a sign if everybody's following. Thank you. So let's take a moment to understand what is here. This is the content or the intel you want to provide your notebook, okay? You can upload sources. If you have your resources in Google Workspace or Google Drive, all you have to do is click here to be redirected to your Google Drive and pull it up. As far as links, you could click on website and then provide the link to that site, or YouTube and add the link to the YouTube video you wanted to explore. And finally, paste text is, as it says itself, copy paste text, but it's a great way, for instance, for you to transfer information that you may have obtained through a ChatGPT or any other LLM, right? You would select that content from that exchange with other models and then simply paste the text here. So I suggest you start uploading your sources. Bear with me a sec. I'm going to bring mine. Does everybody have their resources available? If you don't, it's okay, but let me know now because I can explain something else. So here are my sources, and the topic is performance management. I'm just going to drag and drop. And as you can see, it uploaded all the documents at once. Because one of the first resources I provided was developed by Asana, it added it to the notebook's name, but I just want to call it performance management notebook. I changed altogether. How is it going, folks? Are you any issues uploading yours? Oh, let me see your comment here. Yeah.
A question. I was listening to you. It was like you were saying to click it onto your stuff to follow along, but I'm not sure I even made a new document or anything yet.
Were you able to load your sources into your notebook, David?
I don't even have a notebook.
Oh. Do you have it open?
Well, I was just watching as you were doing yours. I didn't know that we were starting ours yet.
Oh, that's fine. Let me click on the link I just posted on the chat.
All right.
Esther, give me just a second. Let me just see. David, are you there?
Yes.
So remember that you're going to click on Create New Notebook.
Got it. Oh, I see it now.
And the first thing you're going to do is upload sources. Do you have files related to your topic? If anyone doesn't have it, folks, what you can do is click on Discover Sources. This is also a new feature because in the past, it would not do it. It would just stay grounded on however many documents you would upload. But if you click on Discover Sources now, let's say I call it what? Global Marketing Management. I have the option of having browse the web, or if I already have resources on Google Drive, I would click here. And then once I click submit, it does the research for you now. Look at that. At the blink of an eye, it found a few resources here. It always goes in increments of 10. And of course, you would have to review the documents, but let's say that these are fine. It automatically uploads everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's really an amazing tool. Was everybody able to follow and upload their resources? Any questions there, folks? No?
Still working on it.
I'm still working on it too, but I have a question. If I wanted to upload a spreadsheet or Word document, I'm seeming to have a problem with that.
Yes, Susan, one of the, I think I may have mentioned this in the portal through which you registered. Let me see.
That it could only do PDFs.
Oh, yes, I did. So if you look here, if you're using Microsoft files,
Yeah.
there's a workaround because essentially as a Google tool, it does not upload Excel, PowerPoint, or Word documents. But
So just save it as a PDF.
or if you have a Google Drive, the beauty of it is that you drag and drop, you upload your Microsoft files, and it automatically converts them into Google Docs. So you wouldn't have to go one by one turning them into PDFs. So those are the two options. Yeah, but it's doable. You're welcome. Glad you asked. So we went through the source loading option. Esther, I know you figured it out, but so others understand how to change the name of their notebooks. If you see what I'm hovering over here on the top left, there's this box with the notebook name, right? What I could call it, let's say I don't want it to contain the word strategy, just global marketing management. I just go and add it here. And then in doing so, you can see that it automatically updated the chat box here or the chat description.
Can I ask you one more question?
Yeah.
So before you had that great video, is there a way that you could have just downloaded the slides without the video? So like if you were creating onboarding for your company, is there a way to do that, or does it only the whole package?
Not just yet, Esther. Unfortunately, it's the video itself.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. It's a good idea to send them suggestions because I tell you, the folks managing the Google AI Studio are always looking for innovative ways to develop additional functionalities. And keep in mind, they launched NotebookLM in 2023. There have been several updates since, and today we're exploring the newest ones. But they continue to pay attention to how to keep this competitive. All right. Let's talk about, you have the sources, and once again, you can always click on Discover, so it researches some more. You can add them manually, and remember that this is the screen that you would use to upload your sources. You can always, at all times, see how you're trending with your source limit, and you can uncheck or deselect the certain files. If you want that your chat, that NotebookLM responds any questions focusing on specific documents that you have here. Say, for instance, I just wanted a response coming from this source here, a guide to global pricing management, for instance. Oh, actually, I'm going to use this one. Now, when I present my question, it is going to respond solely based on these two documents. Judy is the source on the free version. Oh, it's 50 per notebook. 50 sources per notebook. Susan is saying that a few of her URLs did not upload. Yeah. Sometimes that happens, Susan, and it depends on how the site is configured. Certain sites may have elements that NotebookLM doesn't see, is unable to extract information from. Yes, Fetch, it does. It brings it to another level. Of course, don't just trust what it brings as the truth and something that fully satisfies your objectives, right? But everybody at that point, chat. Let's explore chat for a moment. So here is where you can interact with your documents at any time. And in this case, global marketing leadership, what are the core responsibilities of a global marketing executive? I don't know if this is in the content there, but do you see that I'm interacting with it just as I would with ChatGPT or any other language model? It's going to produce a response solely based on the content here. Look at that, right? Strategy planning, decision making, suitable marketing strategies, integrated planning, defining the business, market research and analysis. It's very robust, as you can see. And every time it responds, the beauty of it is that it's going to provide the source. So if you hover over those little numbers next to each of the responses, it's actually bringing you what's there, where it pulled it from. See that? And of course, you can always click on them to go to the specific content in the document, which is fantastic. Now you're reading it in the document. What else? Oh, something very important about NotebookLM. Remember I started mentioning that privacy is their biggest benefit? Imagine that every iteration you have here is held private, just like an incognito window on Perplexity or ChatGPT. So NotebookLM does not save your chats. I just produced this wonderful response. Let's say I want to save it. This is where you need to remember to click on Save to Note. And look at what happens. Now it's showing here on the right column. It saved this exchange. If I don't do that, when you close this notebook, everything you had exchanged prior is going to completely disappear. So keep that in mind. And then, of course, if you don't like the responses, one way to communicate with NotebookLM is also by signaling it, because as you continue to iterate, it's going to understand that it needs to adjust its response. And you can always copy the content if you'd like to save it and use it for something else.
What did you just say prior to that about saving, making sure you do something so that it gets saved into the...
Do you see Save to Note here, this
Yes.
push pin? Yeah.
Yes.
So you have to click on it and look at that.
Okay.
Saves on the right column here.
You meaning
Okay.
everything above it, it's being saved.
Correct.
Mhm.
Look.
Yes. Yes.
Very well. The audio overview, folks, you can start creating, right? So it takes a few minutes. I'm not sure it's going to be complete by the end of this session. But as you can see, it's starting to generate an audio overview, and it's already telling me, come back in a few minutes. Always remember that whenever you see this pencil, you can customize it. And this is that screenshot that I had in the slide deck you're receiving. But basically, you can decide how you want your audio overview to be produced, or what angle. Do you want it to be brief, critique, debate, short, default, or longer? You can. This is the beauty of it. All of the resources are in English, aren't they? Well, let's say you wanted to produce it in Spanish or French. The audio overview is going to be in the language you select. And you can always customize it here. What else? Same thing for the video overview. If I just click on it, it's going to start producing it, but I can customize it. The video overview has less choices, but again, you have the option to choose the language, and you can type your prompt right in here. What else? Mind maps. I'm going to continue to demonstrate in the Medtronic notebook that I had developed, because there everything is already built and it's going to be easier for you to see. So I'm back to my Medtronic demo. You can see that I had the flashcards, the video. In the case of the video overview prompt, what I did was click on this button and I customized the prompt entirely. Let me show you what it is. I saved it here so you understand what I asked. Remember that my intent in creating this notebook was to help somebody who's looking for a role in marketing with Medtronic. So I tailored the prompt to say, create a clear, engaging video overview about Medtronic, tailored for an audience preparing for a senior director of marketing role. Begin with a concise but detailed company profile, including headquarters, global presence, everything that I want to know about the organization, right? Mission, recent financial or strategic updates, which, by the way, I had uploaded here, and explain their competitive position in the medical technology industry, noting innovations, market challenges, and recent shifts. Then outline specific marketing opportunities that a senior director could pursue, such as strengthening digital engagement with healthcare providers, enhancing patient-centric branding, and on and on. Keep the tone professional and strategic structure to help the candidate understand both Medtronic's context and where they could add value in the marketing function. That's why my video has that tone right from the get-go about how important marketing is for Medtronic. Is that clear, folks? Any questions about this? And let me show you something that I also ran, because when your imagination is really the only thing that's limiting you from using this tool, in however manner you choose. But I'll give you an example. I created, for instance, a briefing doc. So I wanted one document just about mission, performance, and strategic overview. So that's one. Another one, interview prep. This last one, what I did was add a prompt asking, help me prepare for an interview for marketing director. By the way, the job description is right here. It was a real job description earlier this year. So as you can see, all of the details of the position are here. And NotebookLM gives me a brief description of the source guide. I can minimize it or maximize it. And here you go. The job description is entirely here. And what I did was specifically ask, help me prepare for an interview for this role, and give me a few potential questions that I'm going to have during the interview, and suggest responses. So the beauty of it is that you can see phenomenal questions and a notebook LM is responding based on a fictitious resume that I had uploaded. In this case, David, it could be your resume, right? And it not only will respond the most likely questions you would get, but based on your resume. So imagine how much it can help you sharpen your interview skills for any role. Very well, going back to Studio. The audio overview that it's producing, let's see if it's ready. I think it is.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are focusing on Medtronic, one of the world's largest medical technology companies. We're not just looking at their financials, though.
So, do you see this little button, interactive? This is what you would use to talk to the podcast speakers. So let's say they are talking. Imagine it's a real podcast show.
We're trying to analyze how this massive organization is, well, attempting to pull off two pretty different strategies at the same time.
Right.
The big question really is, how does it...
Hi, can you give me a sense of how global Medtronic is and what opportunities there are for a marketing director?
Welcome to the deep dive. Oh, wait, someone wants to join. Hey, go for it.
Hi, can you give me a sense of how global they are and what are the opportunities for a marketing director? I think I should have clicked on that button prior. Hi, can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, we... Oh, yeah. Go on.
Can you give me a sense of how global they are and what are the opportunities for a marketing director?
Yes, we can absolutely hear you.
Welcome. We love it when you chime in.
That's a fantastic question, and it's perfect timing.
Because the global scale is one of Medtronic's defining characteristics.
They operate in more than 150 countries worldwide.
Their legal headquarters are in Dublin, Ireland.
But the operational headquarters are still in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
That massive global footprint is actually key to the marketing opportunities.
We saw an open role for a senior director of marketing for cranial and spinal technologies, or CST.
That role requires a lot of travel, up to 70%, which highlights the global nature.
For marketing director, the opportunities center around product launches.
It's about liaising between the end users, the surgeons and patients, and the R&D teams globally.
They need strategic thinkers to drive customer engagement and support their business objectives worldwide.
A key focus is market development and identifying unmet customer requirements in different regions.
So that gives you a good idea of how interactive this can be. I love your facial expressions, Fetch. It just made my day. So, in a nutshell, folks, this is a hidden gem, a treasure that you can explore however you like. And I mentioned some of them here, but obviously you could use it to organize, for instance, your meeting notes. Let's say you're working on a project, you have all of those meeting notes from your AI note-taking tools. You could load them all to see what are the action items, who owns what, make them and be able to follow up on projects. You could help your child study for exams. You could learn anything you like in a heartbeat, leveraging all of these resources. So let me stop here. Yes, Allison, someone can create a podcast with something like this. And in fact, there are people who are using creating podcasts from their personal archives and favorite readings. Absolutely. Imagine, for instance, in your coaching practice, you may have a series of personal notes about one of your clients and the agreements or the situation. You could create a podcast about it and help and develop something that they could listen as part of your development support. Anyway, our imagination is our only limit. See, Lawrence? A URL that requires a login? No. that's a challenge, but if it requires a login, it means that there's some set of privacy there, and it doesn't go that far. It's a great tool, but it's not an independent agent just yet. Fantastic. Other questions, folks? You can unmute yourselves. Oh, Susan had asked how I saved the prompt. So let me go back for just a moment. The prompt for the video, I assume that the question was. Just let me know if that's correct. Yeah. So I just created it outside of the tool here and essentially saved it as a document. When I prompted it, I just saved it as a document.
Hey, Nina.
All right.
Oh, sorry. Hey, it's Allison. Hi. I have my camera off so that I can be working at the same time on all the examples
Totally
here.
fine.
Yeah, and I absolutely love this. But anyway, you said in some cases, if you created for me like a coaching companion kind of podcast, if you will, for someone I'm working with, do I send it as a link? Does that person also have to have Notebook, or do you have any idea how that, say, audio clip based on our coaching exchange gets shared with that person?
Yeah, so audios aren't always shareable. Let's just take a look here because where was that? Yeah, this one is. Why do I say they aren't always shareable? Because sometimes, depending on the topic, I personally don't share because I may have loaded other resources here and I want to be sure that they are only having access to the file itself. Just be careful not to click on share here on the top. If you click on share here, you are sharing the whole notebook versus, to your question, clicking on share and sharing just the podcast.
Yep. Thank you so much.
I would prefer downloading, just so you know, just
Okay.
to be safe.
Wonderful. Thanks, Nina.
You're welcome. Folks, thank you for this. Let me just close with a couple more information. As I mentioned, you have all of the guides here and you're going to get a copy of this plus the recording today. We did this. If you like this session, please, and have been one of my participants in prior workshops, I will appreciate it if you let others know about our future offerings. There's going to be, in just a month, a phenomenal date, and some of our participants are here in this session today, where we are going to showcase how former participants in the AI for HR Mastery are using AI, applying in specific, very specific cases, and we're going to have prompt exchanges. On November 6th, 20, and 4th, I'm partnering with an executive coach, an expert in neuroscience, and we are going to be launching a short program for executives to adapt in the age of AI. So that starts in November, and also later in November, I'm going to be launching the Tools to Teammates, which is the subsequent session to artificial intelligence for HR Mastery. And since we do have some folks who are in transition in this call, just remember that there are a few resources that are available to you in the GSPS site. Oh, I must have closed it. I apologize. But if you scroll down to the GSPS homepage, you will see all of our offerings. That's the same page where you logged in. And if you scroll down, there are on-demand options for you. So this one is about humanizing work. This one is a big shower of every AI tool that I personally vetted. And this one is about strategies and prompts for job search. So if you're interested, all you have to do is really register and watch it in your own time. With that, please know, I am the type of person who keeps relations going. So if any questions or follow-up related to this session or any other sessions that you attended with me or come to mind, just reach out. Fetch knows it. And I love when they come. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, Nina.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nina.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
very much, Nina.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.